The Netherlands agreed on the creation of a special international tribunal for the crime of Russian military aggression against Ukraine. Foreign Minister Wopke Hoekstra noted that UN support is needed for this. After all, the jurisdiction of the already existing International Criminal Court, located in The Hague, does not include the consideration of such cases.
The creation of this tribunal, one might say, is reaching the finish line, because if at the beginning there was a question whether such a tribunal would be created or not, that is, the question was in the political plane. Then this question was removed, and the decision was made that the tribunal would be created. This is possible until the cessation of active hostilities. Here everything will depend on the political will and the corresponding diplomatic work carried out by Ukraine and our partners.
Following the example of the special tribunals for the cases of the former Yugoslavia, Lebanon and Kosovo, the highest military political leadership of the Federation can be held accountable. The resolution of the UN General Assembly, the decision of the European Parliament, the Council of Europe, the statements of the parliaments of Estonia, Lithuania, the Czech Republic, France, the Netherlands bring closer the day when those who unleash the war will answer for the crime of aggression.
Unfortunately, it will not be possible to use such an instrument as the creation of a tribunal by the UN Security Council, because Russia has the right of veto there, and this idea will not work. Therefore, Ukraine worked very persistently and consistently for several months in order to find allies for the idea of creating a special tribunal, or as an agreement between several countries that sign an agreement that they investigate this crime of aggression, provide their investigators, provide their judges, determine the format for sentencing.
According to experts, it is important to take into account that Russia's aggression against Ukraine began back in 2014 with the annexation of Crimea and the entry of regular Russian troops into the territory of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. The District Court of The Hague has already found Russian-controlled militants responsible for the downing of passenger plane flight MH17. To conduct a special international tribunal, it will also be necessary to conduct investigative actions on the territory of Ukraine.
This tribunal will work anywhere, and it will work, of course, in several countries. I want to remind you that those tribunals that were created by the UN had their headquarters in The Hague, but their branches were located in those countries in which they conducted investigations. A lot of work will need to be done in Ukraine, but where the judges will sit is not important anymore. Probably in the countries that can create the best conditions for them.
The question remains open: how to bring the main defendants of the crime of military aggression to the courtroom.
It will be necessary to physically deliver the perpetrators, I mean the political and military leadership of Russia, since international institutions, international judicial institutions do not recognize sentencing in absentia. I think that during the activities of this tribunal there will be the same approach. A lot will depend on the ability to physically deliver these persons to the courtroom.
More and more countries and international institutions recognize Russia's regime as terrorist. Recently, the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe adopted a corresponding resolution. Reported by Roman Smoler, Larissa Zubenko, UATV News.